I'm so sorry about that first live. My Wi-Fi. Oh, it kept telling me on my end on this side that it was reconnecting, and I'm like, "What the hell?" So I restarted my computer, and it was just horribly laggy and slow. So, okay, so we're back. All right. So, um, let me find it. No, you know what? I sent it to myself. Give me a second here. I'll show you. Yes, I know I have a dental appointment. Um, let's- okay, here it is. Give me a second so I can send this to myself and we can go over it. And then I was planning on doing going over some Brian Enton stuff, but then I'm like, what the fuck is Alex doing? Okay, so let's go. Messages. They're coming in. Um, can I put it like this? I think I can. Okay. So last night, um, Criminal Network, aka Alex, found some information that he wasn't too proud about. And I'll show you. I'll show you what the whole thing actually looks like. So give me a second. But I want to read what Criminal Network said. This is from X. This is from last night. Ignore the 2 hours ago. Okay, at Savannah Guthrie. Thanks a lot, Savannah. All this tells me is that it's time to expose you because why did the world just find out on day 143 that your mother passed? Okay, first off, what's in those ransom letters is that's not information for us. We don't need to know. Technically we have no right to know what's in those letters because it does not involve us. So, that's probably why, and the cops were probably telling the Guthrie kids to keep their mouth shut. So, no, no, Alex, we don't need to know that Nancy passed away literally 5 days after she was taken. No, we don't need to know that. And that you have known for a while now. Again, we do not need to know that. That is none of our business. You are thanking the Pima sheriff. Why wouldn't she? Her experience with the Pima County Sheriff's Department is completely different than or would be completely different than any of our other experiences. Like Alex, like, they arrested you. Have they ever arrested Savannah? Not that I know of. So, yeah. I'm a little bit feisty today, just a heads up, people. My only concern from this day moving forward is Nancy, and Nancy only. Fuck the Guthrie family. Yeah, I said it. Criminal motherfucker network. P.S. I have done more for your mother in the last 4 months than you ever will to find answers. Deuces, bitch. That's what Criminal Network is posting. Okay, I have a screenshot of what the actual paper says. So give me a second here. And just like, just ugh. Okay, let's see here. Let me make sure you guys can see it on the screen. It looks a little blurry, doesn't it? I'll read it. I'm sorry. I don't know why it looks a little blurry. Actually, I can zoom it. Woo! Woo! Shoot. Give me a minute here. Is that better? Okay, that's better. I'm so sorry, guys. Oops. Nope. I didn't do that. Can I? Okay. Okay. Detailed incident report, and then it gives a number. Supplemental narrative. Supplemental typed at 17:30 hours on 6/11/26 by D. I'm gonna butcher that name. We'll just call him DS. And then I'm assuming that's his badge number, and then the thing again. So hold on. 6/11 was on 2 Thursdays ago. Okay. Narrative. On 6/11/26 at approximately 1700 hours, which is 5 p.m., I received communication from Savannah Guthrie. Okay, so Savannah reached out to whoever Mr. D is regarding this matter. I was informed by Miss Guthrie that she had received information that a YouTube personality that goes by the name Criminal Network was in front of her mother's house, possibly live streaming. I know this person to be Alex. I'm not gonna even say his last name because every time I try to say it, I butcher it. We'll just call him Alex. Through previous investigations. Miss Guthrie is one of the responsible parties for the property at, and it blanks out Nancy's address. She is one of 3 kids for Nancy, so she is going to have to be responsible for this. So if somebody gets hurt there, that's on Savannah and Annie and Cameron. Just keep that in mind. And has been having issues with several of the internet true crime, air quotation marks, bloggers, one of which is Mr. Alex. Miss Guthrie was extremely upset that Alex was back in front of her mother's residence. Over the last couple of months, she has expressed to me her displeasure about what has been going on with these vloggers and has on multiple occasions told me that she fears for her and her family's safety with some of the actions that they have been taking. Let that sink in. Just let that sink in for a minute. I just I would too. The shit that they have done out there, Alex out there talking about titties and Sue Ellen's hoo-ha, and then you got Ted over here trying to be Michael Jackson and doing that one no, just that is not the time nor the place to I don't wanna say making jokes because I make jokes. I make dark humor jokes, I should say, when I'm uncomfortable or when I am in a no laughing situation. Like, I make dark humor jokes at the fucking funeral home. That's just me. That just that's how I've dealt with stuff. So I can't really say not making jokes, but they are not related to Nancy or any of the Guthries. They don't need to be there. They don't need to be all up in this business, but whatever. Whatever. Okay. On today's date, Miss Guthrie was unaware of what Alex was doing or saying on the live stream. Thank you, Savannah, for not watching his bullshit because we're about to watch it. And I don't want to because he drives me nuts, but we're gonna do it. I'm saying on the live stream, but has more presence was upset or but his mere presence was upsetting to her. She kind of then that sounds kind of like she knows what's going on out there, like the bullshit that they're doing or pulling or whatever. Yeah. I'm sure Savannah has gotten clips or has looked at other streamers like covering like Alex and 857 and all them. My side of the fence, not Alex and 857 side of the fence. Okay? So that's the only way I can put it. Saying President sitting here. I forwarded this information to Pima County Sheriff Department Patrol Division and was informed of this call for service and that deputies were already responding. So then who if if the information's been forwarded to Pima County, then who that's interesting. I'd like to know who wrote this up. I was informed Miss Guthrie I informed Miss Guthrie of the response, and she thanked the sheriff's department for our attention to the matter. So, it sounds like Savannah is getting I mean, I would be too. I'd be getting like, I'd be pissed off too, I'm not gonna lie. I did watch hold on. I did watch, like, 7 minutes of Alex's live literally this morning when I woke up. I was like, "Oh, I need to see what he's talking about." I can't stand Alex. I despise Alex. We're gonna start back here. So, do I want the live chat on? No, I don't want the live chat on. I don't know these. So, I don't know who this girl is. What is her name? Jamie Joe. I don't know who that is. Gigi. I don't know who is. Crystal Crime Board. Don't know who that is. Don't know who that is either. I don't know any of these people. So
Jamie Joe, welcome aboard.
Hello, hello.
hello.
So, I wanted to show this real quick. Hey, since you guys are all here, I'm gonna throw this out there because I'm having some doubts because I had a moment earlier. So I'm gonna put this. You guys have probably seen it already. I'm having issues with this right here. So before we move forward with this, it might not even be Savannah. All she has to do is clear that if it was her, then everything I say stands. If it wasn't her, they need to go arrest Nerdy. He told us all.
Okay, so automatically, I kind of wonder why he went from what he said on X that I just read to now if this wasn't Savannah, then it was Nerdy. Like, why the sudden change of attitude? Interesting.
He did it. And if you read this, it says, I received, in other words, it wasn't like Savannah, or what? Why would Savannah have called the sheriff's office?
Because that's her mother's.
And this one, if you haven't,
no.
It's pretty shitty. It's pretty shitty.
Yeah, I read it.
If one of you guys want to read it, I don't want to read it.
Can you blow it up anymore?
Let me see.
I
don't know what to do anymore.
I'm going with hogwash because of the date. Don't forget, she said she wasn't talking to Pima County.
Okay, don't forget she wasn't talking to Pima County. That was rumored-ish, I think. I cannot remember. But I remember it was in the very beginning of this investigation. This happened on 6/11, literally 2 Thursdays ago. Almost 3, because tomorrow's Thursday. So that girl can shut up. I don't know who this girl is. She does not have her information correct.
How do I make it? I don't know how to increase.
I can probably read it if I squint.
Hopefully you guys
narrative. On 6/11/26 at approximately 1700 hours, I received communication from Savannah Guthrie regarding this matter. I was informed by Miss Guthrie that she had received information that a YouTube personality that goes by CriminalNetwork was in front of her mother's house, possibly live streaming. I know this person to be Alex Zabel through previous investigations. Miss Guthrie is one of the responsible parties for the property. And has been having issues with several of the internet true crime vloggers, of which Mr. Zabel, Miss Guthrie was extremely upset. What's that?
Zabel, like table.
Zabel.
Yeah.
Miss Guthrie was extremely upset that Mr. Zabel was in front of her mother's residence. Over the past couple of months, she has expressed to me her displeasure about what has been going on with these vloggers, and has on multiple occasions told me.
Hold on, I just realized this. This is page 8 of, I'm assuming that says 21 because there's a thing there. I could be 27. I don't know. But this is only page 8. I would love to see the rest of this.
She fears for her and her family's safety. I call bullshit with that.
Sorry to cut you off. Hey, man, I'm sorry to cut you off.
All right.
The officer is saying that he's receiving these from her for months. Is that my hearing the word right?
Yes.
I gotta remember and read.
Yeah, that's what she's saying. Miss Guthrie was extremely upset. Mr. Zabel was back in front of her home, her mother's residence. Over the last couple of months, she has expressed to me her displeasure about what has been going on with these vlogs.
So is that Savannah then, Gigi?
Yes.
Yeah.
Miss Guthrie. It ain't the other Miss Guthrie and it ain't Annie.
Savannah has every right to do this because it says Miss Guthrie is one of the responsible parties for the property at, and they black out whatever Nancy's address. She has every right to be mad that these people are there. As of right now, until a judge, if they never find, I hope they do, fingers crossed, but if they never find Nancy's body, Savannah, Annie, Cameron have to go before a judge and get the judge to declare Nancy deceased without the body. And then a death certificate and all that stuff can pop up. I don't know how they fill that out. Don't ask me. But as of right now, until Nancy is found or comes home, they are responsible for that property. So Alex's dumbass out there, if he gets hurt, he can sue them. So no, yeah. Sorry, I'm just. Oh, this is annoying.
She said Savannah, Miss Guthrie.
I think they're making this shit up, to be honest.
You say it again?
Oh, so this guy thinks that this is all made up. It could be. Alex could have put it together. He could have had the mannequin type it all up or some bullshit. But yeah.
I think that they're making it up, in my opinion.
Well, or she's reading their narrative that these hater trolls have been doing, which I had my own family reach out to me because what those trolls are doing. You know
Why
what I mean?
pick out one person when there was hundreds of people out there?
It's called the
But
law.
Gigi just pinpointed it right there. Right, Gigi? Am I right?
No, yeah. I mean, she complained over several months that she's
Right.
upset about
him.
it. Yeah, that is out front of the house.
She has. Savannah has expressed her feelings about the situation. You know, can I put closed captions on? I think okay. So, because Alex is kind of hard to hear, he mumbles. So if you guys don't like the closed captions, let me know and I'll take them off. But yeah, Savannah has expressed that she hates that these YouTubers are sitting out in front of her mother's house.
Yeah, but also you have that one document too that says when the officer called to ask if you guys could be there, that she gave permission.
Yep.
So if I had to guess, I would say that this one probably isn't from Savannah, but it would probably be from a troll.
Yeah,
But
I agree.
oh, okay. Welcome.
Look at the
Look
other page.
here, guys. Jay for Justice. Welcome. I love you.
Hey, Jane.
If you guys aren't following Jay for Justice, she's funny as shit. She's funny as shit.
Yeah, I watch her.
Yeah, so I'm telling you, I've
There's
been
another
watching it.
page too.
Of this page?
Yeah, I sent it to you in your text.
Whose phone is that? Or who's who's eating chiclets
Not
over
me.
It's Jay's for
Can you hear
Justice.
me?
Chiclets. Hi, Jay.
Hey, can you hear
Hey,
me?
Jay.
We heard you eating Skittles or something.
Oh,
You're
does
eating
it sound
corn nuts?
bad?
No, it was just clicking.
good.
We didn't know what it was.
You're eating Doritos over there?
It was
No,
probably
I
your.
was.
Do you have a headset?
I'm not used to this. I'm sorry. I might have a lag.
I
or
learned from
something.
you. What are you talking about? I learned from
Hear
you.
them.
Oh, because you're on the other end and it's different?
Yeah, I don't
I
know
love
this
it.
end.
Oh, that's awesome. Because you're awesome. I'm learning from you. Shit. You
Well,
crack
I'm
me up every
actually on
time
my
I go on
phone,
there.
so that's why I don't usually go on StreamYard on my phone. So
Oh,
maybe
I
I go
got
inside and come back up.
I could do it either on my phone or if not, I use my webcam. Oh, of course. Hey, look, you guys have been looking at my right here.
Listen, I just wanted to say something because I didn't want to interrupt your show.
No, we just started. But go ahead. You never
Oh,
interrupt.
you did just start?
And
Well,
we never
thank you
interrupt.
for giving me the link, number one. Okay.
Of course. Of course.
Number two, I'm shocked, and I'm probably the last one to hear this, but Savannah was actually the one that called.
I mean, did you see right now? Gigi was reading that one
That's on
part
his end.
where
I
it
seen
says,
the report on X.
"Yeah, what is the? Hey, Crystal, can you send it to my email? Or wait a minute, you sent the second page to my phone?
Yeah, to your other phone.
Never mind. I'll
It
send
might
to my-
be a link.
But Alex, as you go through the statement up here, this is not okay. So this information was given to someone, and that someone gave the information to the police. So
Yeah.
this information was gathered by a third party. It wasn't
Yeah, it
Savannah
was.
called the police directly.
I bet you.
Exactly.
Oh my god, I need to take a break from that. He's got way too many people on his panel, and these girls are like on my end. It's very hard for me to hear. Yeah. It's probably the HOA out there. Savannah probably contacted them because if you're like the president or you're like one of like the member, I don't want to say members because everybody who lives in the neighborhood is a member of the HOA. If you're one of the people who works for the HOA, there we go. You're hardcore into it. And a lot of them, not saying all of them, but a lot of them believe HOA rules are more superior to actual law rules. So I'm sure you get where I'm going with this. God, this is so hard to hear. I am so sorry, but I wanted to listen and see. And And like I said, I only watched 7 minutes of this, and we are now 11-ish minutes into it. Because you guys are gonna get my full reaction, because Alex is just stupid. Oh, wrong one. There we go.
Tesla.
Yeah, Detective Stivers is the guy. You guys remember that second press conference? That detective that was standing behind him on the right? He wasn't FBI. He was the detective. That's Detective Stivers. So he's been on the case from the beginning. Why he would be in contact with the Guthries is what I want to know.
Are
If
these
not-
just previous statements? Because it says on that day she
On the
wasn't
day-
aware of you doing anything.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
the next paragraph explains that someone, whoever wrote this, someone forwarded this information to Pima County. So this Savannah didn't call Pima County.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I think-
So how do you read that then, DG? Because I didn't.
Okay, I'll read it. Okay,
Okay.
ready?
I'm listening.
On today's date, Ms. Guthrie was unaware of what Mr. Zabel was doing or saying on the live stream, but his mere presence was upsetting to her. I forwarded this information to Pima County Sheriff's Department Patrol Division and was informed of the call for service that the deputies were already responding. I informed Ms. Guthrie of the response, and she thanked the Sheriff's Department for our attention to the matter. So
How it might just be me, but how can somebody not? I mean, you guys, if you were here when I went over this, I sent it to myself, screenshot, sent it to myself. Start the live back over. You can see I did that. I had to read a sentence or a couple sentences over again to fully understand what was being said and take in every word. Because sometimes, like lawyers and cops and stuff, they like to word things weird and use certain, I don't want to say trigger words, but certain words to mean something. Like I don't even know if I'm explaining it right. But anyways, Alex has probably read this over several times, and how can he not comprehend? Like, he's starting to remind me of, like, BJ or allegedly with Brittany. Like, all his other people over here are doing the work for him. You got 2 wives? I assume that you graduated school, which I don't know if you actually did or not. Dude, just fucking read it and comprehend what's going on.
do you see how they
And I'm dyslexic. Sorry, I'm dyslexic, and I read it, like, twice, and I understand it.
wrote that? Somebody took this information and forwarded it to Pima County. They didn't
It
say that
sounds
It's probably
Oh,
HOA, like I
yeah,
said.
she spoke to somebody who spoke to them, right?
Right.
So this seems like, I would say that this was taken by perhaps a HOA type of person.
Uh,
Okay. They forwarded to Pima County. Understand? That's
And
where
it-
I'm
Also, don't forget, maybe not HOA, but that one person
Yeah.
that doesn't live in this country.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, how about this? If it was HOA, if Savannah read this, don't you think she would be? Let's just say she did say it. Okay, she has that right. But if she didn't say it, don't you think she'd at least be like, "Hey, hold up! You can't just be throwing my fucking name out there."
Right.
Or is it worded
She
that?
probably doesn't know it. She probably didn't even know anything about it.
Oh my God,
One at a time, I couldn't hear her say it.
She probably doesn't know anything about it.
Yeah. She probably has no idea.
I mean, there's
Right.
so much shit out there. God knows what she can keep up with.
And why would she ask why Alex Zabel from Criminal Network is there? 'Cause she don't watch my shit. You
Uh,
know
I
what
don't.
I'm saying?
I don't think.
Savannah has a very busy life. I know she doesn't watch his shit. Somebody probably told her, or like I said earlier, sent her a clip of them being out there. It's Savannah fucking Guthrie, man. Like, she's on the Today Show. She's a huge. I don't want to know. I want to say celebrity, but she's not like A-list celebrity, like Hollywood celebrity. But God, the amount of oh God, I'm trying to watch what I say because Jay's on here, and she will fucking clap back hard. But I'm the amount of stupid that's on this panel, other than Jay, it is just mind blowing.
That's from her.
I believe that
Jay is a very smart girl. Don't get me wrong.
police,
She's
and
smart.
she was upset like that, and repeatedly, as they're saying, over the several months, she would have called the police department herself.
No
I don't
kidding.
think she called no third party person to complain, only for them to call. She would have called right away herself.
Oh man, we're doing.
And why would she wait until now?
Right.
After months. Exactly.
Right.
No, it's been
True.
months.
And you have that one that says that the officer did call and that she did say it was okay for you guys to be there.
Well, some people took it the other way, where that was like the guy in the Tesla was allowed to be there. I wasn't. Either way, I didn't care because I wasn't on her property.
Oh, I thought that property manager and the streamers were. She was okay.
Some people were like, "Oh, they were talking about the other dude." I don't know.
If you would have had a problem with it right then and there, you guys would have been arrested.
No,
I just feel like there was mixed messages throughout this whole thing, right? Because like I was thinking back to the beginning when they first started to get annoyed, right? Like everything was fine.
Right.
Then they started to get annoyed. And then when they did the one lane, that was a fiasco. Then they came back and then
the one lane was to get people to move their freaking vehicles. There were school buses trying to get through. Trash guys almost every day trying to get through. The people who actually live there trying to get through. And they couldn't because they
shit down.
Yeah.
And it was like one thing after another, and like you didn't know where you could be or where you could stand. Like I remember John DePietro just standing in one spot, afraid to move.
He would just be like, he would just blend
umbrella. Yes. Yes, but he was like, I don't know, I don't want to step one way this way or one way that way. Like,
and that the day that they did arrest me, I promise you guys, I just made sure everything was out of the road, not even nothing. So you know what I mean? But
yeah,
whipped that poor little cop all over the place like a little wet rag.
Oh my God, Alex, that was so weird. Like he tripped himself.
Yeah.
And then he was like dangling from your sleeve, and you're just standing there like.
Oh,
good boy.
I did my laundry last night. That shirt did not rip. Ain't that some shit? I was like, it had to rip. It had to. I thought I was like, I didn't feel nothing, but I washed it and I took it out. Because the reason I know is because it's the only gray shirt I had that has a pocket.
Wait a minute. He did his laundry last night. Wait, when did he get arrested? Hold on. Nope, wrong one. Let me go back and look when he was actually arrested. 11 days ago. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah! So that was around June 12th, June 13th. Okay. So he just did his laundry. Oh God. I have to do laundry like every day or every other day. I can't, no.
Sure enough, it didn't rip. For that thing.
Dude, I mean, he literally was hanging by it like a marionette. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, well, he was my little Pinocchio. I was like, here you go.
I mean, I don't mean to laugh because, like, I like the cops, you know what I mean? But that shit was,
I'm with you, and I'm with you.
Was ridiculous, and I just don't think you, like, manhandled that.
I mean, Jay,
the way they approached you was shit, too, in my opinion.
Right? Yeah, I have a shady past, and look, I understand. I know what I look like. But the thing is, though, I matched their energy. I wasn't trying to stop them from doing their job, but it is my right on an unwarranted arrest to ask what I'm being arrested for.
Yeah.
They legally don't have to tell you until you're arrested and handcuffed.
You know, get up right now. Like,
and I know I didn't commit a crime, so that's why you're allowed to ask on an See, you know what I mean? The thing is with me is like, I wrote it down because some people are like, if you don't do this right, they're like, hey.
Supposed to follow lawful orders, but they were giving unlawful orders to you.
They get away with, but they always get away with whatever they want to get away with.
Hey, Alex, did you listen to the interview room tonight? All of it?
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah, we're getting.
Wow.
Okay, I wanted to make sure that you heard that part because.
No, I heard it.
And even gave it up to me. Supreme Court and all of that.
Yeah, the Supreme Court really got me.
Yeah, that was super interesting, and I think it's awesome that he said reach out if you need, his sources. Awesome.
And I think I feel bad because I shouldn't feel bad, but Chris is covering up for a guy that now he met. It's not just some tattoos, because I get it. I do have a criminal past, but I think that guy Bob, because I really love the interview room. I don't want to ever badmouth any of those guys because they are so knowledgeable. But I think Bob when he saw me, he said, "No, he should." No, he was like violent. I think he just needs to watch it. He just needs to watch it again. Listen.
If you go back and watch, oh my god, I don't know how much more of this I can take. Alex drives me nuts. If you go back and watch when they were trying to detain him, they kind of like push him. Well, I don't know if it's him. It might be Alex trying to get out of the way, but they go off. It would be your right side of your phone screen, whatever you're watching it on. They go off, and then you can see Alex starts walking back into the camera view, which I get it. He was live streaming. That is for his protection. That's also he did it so people can see that they're arresting him and play the victim is pretty much what he's doing. If there is let's just say temporary because I don't know if these laws were put into place for that county or what, but we're just going to go with temporary at this time. So if this temporary law was put in, first citation, second is jail time or is being arrested. What? Why not follow the rules? I honestly think it was for a money grab from his subs, and he was probably hoping something would happen so he could turn around and sue the Pima County Sheriff Department. That's just my theory.
I can tell.
Watch it again and look at me and be like, "Hey, without all the tattoos, let's just say that was Chris getting arrested. You think they're just gonna reach out and grab that motherfucker and pull his hand?"
No, but I can tell by their verbiage, calling people tweakers and crackheads, and I can tell he's very old school, like 1980s was his heyday.
Right.
And you know what I mean? And it's just like, I don't know. I think it's just an age thing.
It is, because I think they think about the social media aspect of it now. And like back then, they didn't have cameras all up in their faces, being able to document.
Totally different world.
Yeah. So
you're 100%. I do agree with
that old age does come into play, but then they tend to forget about what we have now. And also, Alex didn't resist the first time. So let's not forget about that when they came.
If I really wanted to resist, I could have flattened both of them.
Right.
I just think that all of those guys kind of even each other out. You know what I mean? Like, I liked tonight that the one guy, I don't remember his name, not the Bob guy, the other one, but he was like, I didn't like Alex resisting arrest. I don't agree with that. And he was very like,
I respect.
Alex admitted on one of his live streams, I'd have to go find it, but he did admit that he was resisting. So he screwed himself. He screwed himself on that one.
But yeah, Gillum. And you know what? I respect his opinion too. And then Chris was like, well, 100%. He had a counter to it and they had a discussion about it. And it wasn't personal. It wasn't about what you look like or what your past was. It was just basically, that incident or whatever. But, it was nice to see not everybody agreeing, on one panel too.
You're right. It's all uniform. Yeah, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what it is with Chris is that he was able to meet me and like we were like really after. Of course, I was watching him for a long time, but we actually did kick it for like 10 minutes and like he was like joking around. He just know. In other words, he knows what I'm in there for, and he's not judging me. And I think that's what maybe some of those guys.
Oh my god, I don't know how much more of this I can watch. He's just what is this? What is this? Let's fast forward through this and see what this.
Gotta remember when cops get together, that's the way they talk. Okay.
What is this
they talk, excuse my French, they talk shit about people, and that's what they do. So when they get together in a place like that, oftentimes you just talk like you're comfortable. So
who is this talking? Because I absolutely love your commentary.
That's crazy.
I've listened before.
Oh my god,
you are so on point. I love your commentary.
When you with a police officer and attorneys for over 50 years, I mean,
that's sleuth.
I'm pretty sure that Gigi is the one that called JLR because her voice sounds so familiar when he was standing out there before all the one or people moving their cars and stuff. I'm pretty sure she was the one who called. Like her voice just sounds so familiar.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to interrupt him, but just I wanted to welcome Sloop in. What's up, my brother?
What's up, everybody?
What's up, Sloop?
Thanks for showing up.
Good to see you guys.
Alex, I sent you that link in the private chat for the other paper. The other
Thanks. Oh, thank you. I did want to say
You're
that.
welcome.
Come on, what is this chat GPT
So I
shit?
didn't
Let's
see
go.
any other. I saw the Savannah paragraphs in that one report. Is there more that they put all
Yeah.
together, or?
I think that's the page you sent me, right, Crystal? Oh man,
Yep, that's it.
Oh, there it is 21.
it's so little.
That's what she said.
That's on his end. I don't know.
That's
why
what
we
she
can't
said.
get it.
These are the actual reports.
I'm not live, damn it.
You have to zoom in, Alex.
I know, but what
And
there's
this one right
no
here.
StreamYard. I have to do it on YouTube because it's a picture, it's an image. I know,
On
I'm
your
telling
computer?
you. Yeah, well, no, she just sent it in the private chat, so I clicked it.
Zoom
Oh.
in.
You should be able to like zoom in.
Okay, let me try it.
Don't
And
ask me.
Ashley Copeland found this, by the way.
Wait, I found it. I
Yeah,
think I
way to
found
knock
it.
somebody
All
out.
right, guys. All right, and all right, is this the one you guys were talking about?
Yep.
Yeah, because I haven't read this one. Bigger or no?
Yeah. Couple more clicks.
2 more clicks.
Yeah.
Hey, 12 of 21. Hey, I have so many FOIA requests. Man, you guys were, man, the amount of
I'm
hours
getting
of
the full, about to get the full 21 pages of it, actually.
Yeah, freaking Juanita.
I was reading.
There it is.
Where you at with the sleuth? How you doing, brother?
Doing good. I'm well, man. How you doing?
I'm doing awesome,
Another
man.
fucking person.
857 just jumped in.
It's
Oh,
just
man, I
gonna
feel like
lag, and everybody's gonna talk over everybody. I think I'm gonna skip through this a little bit because there's too many people on panel. You guys are it's gonna be so hard for you guys to hear, but I wanted to read this, so I'm kind of just gonna let it play. Hopefully somebody reads it all. I don't know.
57.
well, I'm here to listen, really. I have all the coolest people in here right now. But Gigi, will you read this to me? Because you know I'm blind. I have to scroll down.
Now, I have a question before we start reading this. Yes, I will,
Yeah.
but I have a question before we
Go
start
ahead.
reading. Are
course.
these the CAD calls from the 911 or something?
These right here, they're incident report, detailed incident reports.
Supplemental narrative.
Right.
I asked that. My question, I asked that because it doesn't have, it says supplemental narrative, and it doesn't have names or who's making the reports.
Right
That's
here,
the reason why.
right here.
Because with some of that is redacted. All those dots. You,
Acted.
yeah.
Ah!
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Ask this.
Ah.
Okay, you ready?
Cool.
Yeah. Thank you.
While on
I told y'all that I was I told you guys I was a little I don't even remember what the word was. Spicy. I'm gonna go with spicy today. Instead of saying I'm a little pissy today or whatever, I'm just gonna say I'm spicy today. Just to give you guys a heads up. Like I'm not book smart by any means. I mean, I did graduate high school. I went to a vocational school. I have certifications for early childhood education, all that good shit, CPR, everything, right? But I am 100% stream smart, and I can't stand stupid people. God, I'm sorry. I have no patience. These guys are taking it way too long.
patrol in Pima County, District of 61126, I responded to the address of blank blank. In reference to an unwanted person, the information that was initially provided indicated an ongoing issue with Alex, quote unquote, live streaming in front of the Guthrie house, making claims about Pima County Sheriff Department involvement and being vulgar.
Uh-huh.
The reportee was concerned due to Alex.
The being vulgar stuff, I think that stems from always talking about women's boobies, talking about Sue Ellen's hoo-ha. She's in her 80s, dude. That's for one, that's just gross. Two, she deserves some respect. She's like an archaeologist or something, like a retired one. She's something in that realm of that stuff. She's a very accomplished person. We don't know Sue Ellen. I mean, in the beginning, yeah, I'm pretty sure Sue Ellen wasn't that the one that JLR she let JLR park in her driveway after the whole one-way thing happened? I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it was her. She's old and she wants to freaking relax in her neighborhood. Just let her be.
Alex just being arrested 2 days ago for the same issue. Unknown.
So he has already been arrested twice for being out there. Okay? Twice. And he has, and I'm assuming the second time was a charm because he hasn't been back out there that I know of. So you would think after the citation, he'd be like, okay, they're not playing around. I'm going to sit at home and cover this. But when he's out there, his numbers and his views go up. That's the only reason why I believe that he was still continuing to go out there, because the more, okay, you got to get views to get watch hour. Okay. So you get your views, and I think like the person stay on your live for like 30 seconds or something for it to count towards your watch hours. Your watch hours then get turned into money. So he gets paid for just sitting out there and doing nothing. I'm not monetized. I'm not getting paid. So
If
I got too far.
if
I can't fit.
or in the street, if in the front of the additional call, Eddie at blank 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 was saying Alex was urinating in front of the camera, saying, "Fuck the sheriff." Per Eddie, it was
What does Eddie mean? Per Eddie. Fuck the sheriff. Like Eddie Murphy?
Yeah. Additional call from Dawn at blank blank blank.
Oh, sorry. Go. Hold on.
Was from Canada, giving the same information that Alex was last seen wearing a gray
skirt.
Unknown pants.
All
from an unknown female. Blank blank. This is bizarre, bro.
Wow.
Have any updated descriptors, but confirmed he was currently being streamed. And additional caller, an anonymous individual at blank blank blank, stated YouTuber Alex was live streaming currently in front of the Guthrie house. Again,
hold on, Gigi, I didn't mean to cut you off. See, when I was live streaming, they cut off the live, and they said Alex was streaming in front of the Guthrie house. They said I was peeing out there.
Yeah.
Anyway,
hold on. He did pee out there, I believe it was. He had that black pop-up tent that you got to twist and all that stuff. Which I mean, if you're going hunting or you're camping in the woods, that would be really good to have. But yeah, he had that black pop-up thing, and you can clearly hear people talking about him, going to the bathroom. And then he ended up, I think, pooping in it. I don't know. But he actually was doing that. So
the Guthrie house, again, on the side of the road, and had video equipment with him. Several other calls were received with no new information. Prior to my arrival to the scene, Sergeant MJ Aragon and I spoke with each other and came up with a game plan of how we were going to approach the.
Whoa, it ends right there. I love this. This is awesome. Sorry, guy. I hate to be making it about me, but I love to hear these fucking documents.
Wait a minute, I lost my.
Plus they know we're gonna do some FOIA requests. I got all kinds of footage coming. But
I'm looking to see if there's any more. It's just his panel.
So I'm not thinking of any more papers, but
okay, we're gonna
break. He was very, and then in the one here, he was talking to Adam. He talking about her name was in a cipher that she was going to get killed, all this stuff, and he called the police. And if that meant that I lost my doctor, then that's this dude is.
I got a story for you guys about that.
Hold on. What's he do with this over here? The chat's his.
She didn't know.
Yep.
You see that? You see the conflict there?
Yeah, but listen,
who is the one saying this? Sorry, I just got my power back. And internet. I've been struggling with this. Who wrote this narrative?
Stivers, the guy who was at the second press conference, the guy who he stood there like he was FBI, but he was just a detective.
Okay, so this is the detective for the case.
For
the one that can't find Nancy.
Correct.
The one in charge of the case.
Correct.
Interesting. No wonder they can't find Nancy.
Check it out. Hey, Chat GPT. Hey, Chat GPT and Copilot, hey, you just give them the, hey, tell me what this said. Even though I didn't put the other page, I said, I go, look, please break down and analyze and give me all the positive and negative things in this incident report states. So, but really what it comes, I'll read it all, but
Hold on. I gotta share this. So I'm over here checking X to see if there's any more of this paperwork online. And I have got to share this with you guys because y'all have been hearing how frustrated I have been getting. Nerdy addict, love this dude, okay? It says, dude is going to catch another charge. Aggravated stupidity in the first degree and operating without a functioning thought process. Oh my god. I'm sorry. I had to share that with you guys right then and there because I have been getting so frustrated because these people can't stay on track. They can't. I'm sorry.
at the end note, it just says there's a lot of things that it's all, oh man, this is fuck, man. Okay, let me go.
And then
Okay.
it says I forwarded, but then it says I forwarded this information to the Pima County Sheriff's Department Patrol Division.
Yeah, that's Manus, that one dude.
Oh my god.
So
Okay,
anyway,
Hang on a second, guys. I don't know. Something's
we can go watch.
hold
We can
on,
do
I'll
some
be right
Brian
back.
Benton because Brian.
Okay.
I sent you all 21.
Oh, look.
Yeah, it looks like they.
Oh, shit. See, I don't even know it has all this.
What is this?
It even has metadata, transaction ID. How could they not? Okay, come on.
What is that? Bitcoin address.
In there. Nobody mess with it.
Yeah, that was stupid of them to do that.
Exactly. Should have put at least 10 grand in there.
Yeah, for real.
Should have put $1 million in there.
Yeah. I don't think I want to catch this perp. It just doesn't look like it. I can't. I just get the
Honestly,
feeling
they should have just put the $4 million in there and just been done with it. Track it, get it back. The FBI could have got that money back quick.
Yeah, they could have.
Oh, this is the Bitcoin account. Okay, so the one kidnapper sent a link for them to put the money into the Bitcoin account. And I don't know if it was the FBI, TMZ, the Guthrie family. I don't know who it was. Put February 11th. See that? Let me see here. Oh, my husband would know more. He does this stuff. Let's see. Okay, so they put money into account. I think they were testing the waters to see if anybody would take it out. February 10th would be the first one, and then February 11th, that's when the second ransom note was sent that Nancy had passed. February 10th was when the first one was sent and said something along the lines of it's I don't know, something of the essence. It's a super. So this is the Bitcoin count. Okay. All right. So well, I'm just gonna fast forward. I'm gonna look through this real quick because this is annoying as shit. Ooh, what is this? Okay, hold on. I'm nosy.
Today, my FOIA on Travis Reynolds.
Oh, wait, look right here. It says page 1 of 21. I wonder if this is all of the incident report.
So I paid it today, so hopefully it'll show up in my email tomorrow.
I was going to say, did you get it? I was like, let's do it.
Yeah, I'm going to go over it as soon as I get it. And maybe we'll find something.
Oh, real quick, though, I want to get done with this because we're going to go watch Brian Enton. He talks to a profiler, and the profiler is going to talk about the ransom notes and what type of person they believe, you know what a profiler does.
Something like juicy in there about that department.
Yeah, good. That's actually a really good one, man.
Right, because he's over here showing pictures of him like violating girls he plans to violate while in uniform. In what atmosphere do you feel comfortable doing that? Right.
For real. Exactly. It comes from the top down. You're right. And none of that, he was 22 years old. Like they just giving him all this power to be, and then look what happened that fast. That dude was sicko.
Mm-hmm.
13 of them still waiting. Footage, all kinds of stuff. It's expensive as shit, but it's happening.
Yeah, I had to redo a request because it was like $44,000, so I had to kind of reword it and get rid of some things.
I hope I don't have any of
the it was every incident that happened from the beginning of 2005 to the day of on Nancy Street, that 5800 block. I asked.
Oh my God, guys, shut up. Anyways, Okay, so 611, 611, 611, the unit 603, 545, 182 arrival time. Literally the same arrival time. And then so this was the day that he got arrested that we saw on his live stream. Okay, so this is the last time he got arrested. This was the third cop that came because they needed a third, I guess. But he came just a little bit later. Okay, so this is what that is from.
It's for
That's
everything.
funny. Hey, you're doing some real sleuthing. You just didn't.
Yeah.
It was like 40. Yeah.
44K, dude.
That's crazy.
Yeah, for all the body cam, all the 911 calls, all the incident reports, the man hours. I was like, gosh, I was like, whoops, I need to rewrite this. So I did in like a whole, I pinpointed a few and did them individually. And
Okay, screw it. I'm going to pause it and read it. Let me see. Offenses, other felonies, statute, let me see. Resisting arrest, class 6 felony. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay, class 6 felony. Law, Arizona, court, blah, blah, blah. Other offense, misdemeanor, public nuisance. Okay, yep, this is definitely from when last time he got arrested.
now they're starting to come in. That was the first one. It's his whole record. It's going to be his whole record of all of his incidences and everything.
That's tight. I mean, he wasn't even on the force for that long, but that's crazy if he has.
But he was at Nancy's. Remember, he was caught on camera.
Right.
He was part of that.
Orale, you guys thought I was playing?
I saw your machete. I remember when you pulled it out of the back of the car.
Oh, okay. That's right.
Because you can legally carry that. You never know if somebody's going to come up on you, try to run up on you.
Is this the same thing we already read? Oh, so this is that.
This is the other one.
Got it. Okay,
Yeah.
so, and we gotta read this one, right? Oh yeah, this is the second funny one. Okay. Oh, okay. Right?
No.
No,
it's not.
Listen.
He spit on me.
He even said I spit on him.
Making statements, requesting to why he was being placed. Can you make it bigger? I'll read it.
Okay. Yeah, here. Let's see. Tell me when. There's 1, 2, 3.
That should be good right there. Where are you going to start from?
I think I'd already done that. Did we read this page?
No, you got to go up to the where this page starts. Right there.
Okay, so on 6/11 at approximately 16:51 hours while working daily operations as a member of the Special Enforcement Team, SET, in the Rincon District, I was requested by Shift Supervisor Sergeant M9 Aragon. I think we already read this part earlier today.
So too. It might be in the next.
Yeah, you read that at the beginning of the stream. Somebody did.
I think Gigi did.
Yeah, it was Gigi.
No, he didn't.
Okay, so I think then here, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Shortly after, we were able to escort him to the marked patrol vehicle without any additional use of force. Wait, maybe go up a little bit higher.
Okay, so they left out. They did not read that because I was like skimming through it as they were talking. It tells in there, okay, the 2 officers arrive, whatever. They talk to him and then they do the struggle. That was all in that. And they skipped over it, saying that he read it. No, he didn't.
A little bit higher.
Up there? Like that or the other way?
Keep going. I think right. A little bit more. Right there. At this point in time,
Look where my mouse says he was irate and spitting.
Was appearing very irate. I assisted with escorting Alexander over to a marked patrol vehicle. While doing so, I observed he was irate and was spitting. And he was talking. However, the spitting was not directly toward me. And it appeared he did not. Well, at least he was honest about it.
Yeah.
I forewarned Alexander that if he were to spit on me, that he would be catching an additional charge.
The cop said that to him too. Like, I don't know if the cop's getting it mixed up because I didn't hear any of this because Alex still had his microphone on when he was in the back of the car. The cop, let me see, spitting not directly towards me, appeared that he was not intended to assault me. I forewarned Alex that if he were to spit on me, that he would be catching an additional charge. The cop said that to him when they were in front of Alex's live stream.
And it appeared more irate after I told him, indicating he could put his head wherever he wanted, and what sounded like say what he wanted to you, and said, "Hey, look, Nanos is telling us we got to do this, man. I got to put you in cuffs. Okay, I'll explain it to you when we get back there. I promise, doing my job. I don't really want this. You know, this is your direct order. I'm sure you can figure it out once we get down there.
And you know what?
Please stand up."
Yeah. Hey, you know what? They took an oath. I didn't. That's all they had to do. There's a right and wrong way to go about that things, and they went about
Yeah,
it.
they
wrong.
provoked you. They wanted you to react.
Yeah, because imagine that for real. His
Right.
gun fell
They would
out
have
or
blamed me.
something.
Well, what if I fell on top of him when I was dangling him?
Yeah, you remember what happened to that one guy? He got, just for having a gun, they ended up killing
I
him.
have to read.
Yeah, you're right. Hey, at the
May
time,
I
I
jump
took
in
my
here,
driving
please?
nurse and assistant. This is a little guy, right? This is, bring your
Okay, I'm gonna finish this up because we can barely hear him. At that time, I assisted by grabbing his waist or his wrist, I'm sorry, and assisting with escorting, him over to the marked patrol vehicle. As he delayed walking and stumbled to prevent. Let's see if they have any more. Okay, I think they do.
And make him look like he's the one on live stream saying this stuff. You all need to start really paying attention and being more cognitive on protecting.
Oh hell, hold on. This lady ain't gonna shut up, so hold on. I'm just gonna go ahead and read it.
Oh,
I'll
please
pause it and
be
read it 'cause this is
responsible with
taking
words.
too long.
We cannot be having those conversations right now.
Thank you. Juanita always got my back. She knows. Nobody's directed because they just want. You're right though.
Come on,
They just
Phil.
want to just try to, you know.
And if anybody's hearing that rumor, don't bring it in here to chat.
Here we go.
And make him look like he's the one.
Okay, let me see. Deputy or to prevent deputy from escorting him, but I don't know. Okay. Shortly after we were able to escort him to the marked patrol vehicle without any additional use of force, he was secured in the marked patrol vehicle thereafter. I was also tasked with reading Miranda rights to Alexander as he was placed under arrest. I read all parts from my Pima County Sheriff Department, whatever the hell that is, a book of his rights, the little card booklet they get about the whole Miranda rights thing. Whatever. Let me see. On the rear portion, I read all 6 parts to Alexander, to which he stated he understood his rights by acknowledging yes, and let me see, yes, and that he would answer my questions.
On live stream.
Hold on, you know what? We're gonna do playback speed a little bit faster. This is 1.0. Let's try this.
Saying this stuff. You all need to start really paying attention and being more cognitive on protecting Alex and helping him.
Okay, I briefly asked him about what he wanted to do with his property, to which he requested to put everything together. I relayed the information to additional deputies on scene so his property would not be misplaced and to maintain the integrity of the investigation as well.
Clear his name, not bring him more into dirt. Man, I'm sorry, I'm a little bit emotional on my experience.
Nobody's mad. We like it when you come. I love it.
Prior to clearing from the location, I assisted with gathering some of his property and putting it into one of his ice bag or coolers. Ooh. He could have came back and said that if it was like an ice bag or a cooler, that his equipment got wet, but he hasn't. Now, Alex, if you listen to us, you can't use that now because you should have did it. You should have claimed it in the beginning or like right when you got out. Is what it appeared to be.
When you come in, about what he wanted to do with his property.
We're gonna go faster because
I appreciate all of you. I appreciate everybody that
After that, I concluded with the investigation on my part. I cleared from the location and returned to my assigned duties.
Their energy, and I understand the intentions are good, but sometimes the road to hell is paved with good intentions. And at this point, Alex is my friend.
This concludes my involvement.
Able to clear his name.
Thank you, Juanita. Love.
Okay, this concludes my involvement incident.
Yeah. You're welcome. Love you too.
I didn't see this. On 6/11, I was advised by Sergeant to take pictures of himself and deputy whatever for documentation purposes. Pictures were taken of both individuals and were uploaded to the annex on evidence.com. I wonder if this is the deputy that fell.
I was advised by Sergeant Aragon to take pictures of himself and Deputy Avila for documentation purposes. For what? Pictures were taken of both individuals. And what is Axon? Anybody know? Hello, nobody here?
Might be, I think it might be something internal, like one of their.
Cover their ass.
No, I think one of the programs
well,
they
let's
use
just
maybe
read
store
the
photographs
come
and certain digital.
I heard that. Is that it?
Oh shit! I went too far. Maybe he'll back up.
Yeah, we've seen this too. Oh, no, he was in the property room.
Hey, Alex, I gotta drop out, buddy.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you coming
Okay,
in.
we already
Man.
read this.
I'm gonna see you soon.
Yeah, thanks for coming in, brother.
All right, take care.
If you guys don't already follow Sleuth Intuition, make sure you guys do. He's badass. Been doing it for a long time. And then there was two. What happened? Oh, Crystal's here. You jumped out?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Crystal's here.
Okay.
You saw this page.
Yeah, we did see this one. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Additional call from Dawn. What's calling? Oh, yeah, you're right. So, oh wow, we're not even there.
Let me see. Situation. Once of the plan of action was made, we proceeded to the Guthrie residence at the address of
What's the plan of action?
Let me see. We arrived on scene at 17:32 hours. I could see a Hispanic male with facial tattoos sitting in a chair off the roadway on the dirt with a cell phone on a tripod. Again, off the roadway in a dirt area, along with several other miscellaneous items on the dirt beside the road. Let me see. As we approached in our patrol vehicles, I could see he was lighting a cigarette. I exited my fully marked patrol vehicle. I was also wearing department issue uniform that clearly showed.
Oh, I want to see the plan of action to come get me.
Oh.
Yep. They came up with a plan. He's like, when I get in the car, I'm going to pull up hella fast, and I'm going to take my little ass, I'm going to reach over and grab his hand. I can see his
Showed the sheriff's department.
Hispanic male. Yeah, it's not racial, right? I can see a Hispanic male with facial tattoos sitting in a chair off the road. Thank you. They fucking tell the truth. On the dirt. Cell phone on a tripod. Again, off the roadway. Interesting. In the dirt area, along with several other miscellaneous items on the dirt beside the road. As we approached our patrol vehicles, I could see he was lighting a cigarette. Hell yeah. I exited my fully marked patrol vehicle. Was also wearing department issued uniform that clearly showed the sheriff's department envelopes. I did see those.
Okay. I approached the individual whom I was able to identify as Alex using his booking photograph from the previous incident where he was arrested for public nuisance. I asked Alex to stand up. He mocked me in a stuttering manner. I asked him to put the cigarette out. He did not comply. Sergeant Argon informed him he was under arrest and to stand up. We both at that point took control of an arm. I had the left arm and stood him up. At that point, he became highly agitated, began yelling profanities, and was actively resisting by rotating his body back and forth, which he did, attempting to break our hold on his arm. He also interlaced his fingers to prevent us from bringing his hands behind his back to place him in a double locked handcuffs. Oh shit, Alex, double locked. Oh, look at those fancy little bracelets. Sergeant Argon's microphone at one point.
Approached an individual whom I was able to identify as Alex Zander. Well, that's not my known name, but using his booking photo from the previous incident where he was arrested for public nuisance. I asked Alex to stand up. He mocked me.
Okay, at one point, microphone at one point began to clip. Therefore, a code 999 was initiated. That doesn't make any sense.
In a stuttering manner. Oh, when I was stuttering, because he was stuttering, I asked him to put the cigarette out. He did not comply. I didn't. Aragon informed him he was under arrest and to stand up. We both at that point took control of an arm. I had the left arm and stood him up. At that point, he became highly agitated, began yelling profanities. Yeah, how many profanities did I yell? And was actively active at that time.
No, I was kidding.
I was going to say I usually do, but on that day I thought I was saying, what am I being arrested for? Of course I did cuss him out a couple times. I had to slip a couple in there.
Come on.
And was actively resisting by rotating his body. Come on, back and forth. Yeah, you guys, that's my move. That's my move. They got me. Ah! See, I was going to sell this move to people, and they caught me. I did the whole back and forth move.
Taking forever.
Attempting to break our hold. Come on, you guys. I would have He also interlaced his fingers. Yes, I did. That's my safe space. Okay, that's my finance. Fingers to prevent us from bringing his hands behind his back to place him in double locked cuffs. Double locked, there, even Sergeant Aragon's microphone at one point began to clip. Therefore, a code 999 was initiated. Oh shit!
In the midget.
Oh my god. At one point, Alex broke both of our grips. I was able to regain control of his right arm at this point with Sergeant Argon on his left. Sergeant Argon attempted to take Alex to the ground. However, he remained standing and the Sergeant Argon fell to the ground. I maintained control. I informed Alex that he needed to comply. At one point, he said he was complying and to tell the sergeant that I was putting handcuffs on him. What the fuck?
I didn't know what the code 999 was. No wonder they closed the streets off. Holy shit. Because his microphone at one point began to clip, probably because he fell on it. Fucking dummy. At one point, Alex broke both of our grips.
Something did fall onto the ground from that officer that did fall. I don't know what it was. It could have been his body cam. It could have been whatever.
I was able to regain control of his right arm. Dude, I gave you my right arm. At this point, Sergeant Aragon left. Dude, Sergeant Aragon attempted to take Alex to the ground. Yes, he did. For what though? I don't know why. I thought I was under arrest. He was trying to blame me. However, he remained standing. Fell to the ground. Thank you. At least I didn't say it. I maintained control. No, he didn't. I informed Alex that he needed to comply. At one point, he said he was complying and to tell the sergeant that I was putting handcuffs on him. Yes, because the sergeant wanted to twist my fucking hand. Alex continued to actively resist.
Oh my God. Alex continued to actively resist. However, we were able to successfully use two handcuffs as he was a larger individual. They're talking about round, not tall. Approximately 300 pounds, 6'2" tall, to comfortably put handcuffs on him. He was escorted to my fully marked patrol vehicle, again continuing to resist to the point where we had to take control of his arms once more to usher him to the patrol vehicle. He was searched. He was searched incident to to arrest and place into the rear of my patrol vehicle. No deputies were injured in the arrest.
However, we were able to successfully use two handcuffs as he was a larger individual, approximately 300 pounds, 6'2". What, in your fucking classes, you guys didn't know that you're gonna have to meet fucking short people, tall people, and I know I'm not the fucking tallest person I ever met. But,
yeah, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that anymore. No, we're done. We're done. I'm done. I can't do Alex. I want to go to Brian Hinton though. No, I can't do Alex. I can't. Search. Okay, let me see. Oh, that's a Karen Reed one. Let's see here. Wait. Hidden meaning behind Nancy Guthrie's ransom note profile. I didn't watch all this. Oh, maybe I did watch some of it. No, did I? There's no way I watched it all. I don't remember doing that.
I just started an anti-inflammatory diet, and at first I was nervous I wouldn't have a ton of options, but Hungry Root made it so...
Oh, I guess I did. All right. We're gonna watch it.
Donna just discovered that on Vinted, she can easily earn extra cash. All she has to do is...
Hey guys, thanks so much for checking out my show. Really, really appreciate you guys.
Shit.
Thank you everybody for...
I forgot I got the speed turned on. Whoops. There we go.
For supporting my channel, for everybody who's subscribed. In this episode, more on revelations that came yesterday about the Nancy Guthrie ransom notes. And I'm not even sure we should call them ransom notes because now we've learned that the second note did not involve a ransom, which I'm going to get into in a second. In this episode, I'm going to talk to a retired FBI profiler, which is the first thing that popped in yesterday when I started this information from the notes is I wanted to talk to a profiler about what this means. The fact that the person apparently, according to sources, and if the notes are real, was telling the Guthrie family that Nancy had died and that the death was not intentional. What kind of person would do that? What does that tell us about the abductor? How does that help the FBI build a profile of who this person is so that they can catch this person? That's exactly what I'm going to talk with profiler Ray Carr about in a second. But let me go over a couple of new details first, just to get you guys up to speed. I reported that the second ransom note in the Nancy Guthrie case said she died, said that she was, quote, buried with nature now. And that was a direct quote, buried with nature now, which is also something I'm interested in hearing what Ray Carr has to say about.
I kind of think it's true that she has passed away and that she is, she's somewhere. We don't know if she's actually technically buried in nature, but there's been no more legit ransom notes. The TMZ ones, no. I don't, those are not credible to me, and even law enforcement says they're not credible, but there has been no more from the original, so I kind of think she is passed.
And that the death was not intentional, though.
See, look, there's a camera right here. I noticed that when I first started covering this, that points, like, directly down, so did this camera not pick up anybody walking or a vehicle or anything? Like, what the fuck?
It did not offer a direct apology. NBC News is
It comes
also
down, like,
reporting the
right through
note did
here.
not offer a direct apology or a request for payment. So there was some confusion. Some people were thinking that the second note asked for money in exchange for the body. NBC News is reporting that there was no request for payment with the second note. There have been a lot of notes out there. Remember, I mean, there's the notes that went to TMZ. There's been a lot of notes floating around. But I'm told that the FBI believes that the first two notes, the note that first had the ransom demand and then the note that said that Nancy died, that those are the ones that are believed to be credible and real. And those are the ones that Savannah has said that she believes are real and should be taken seriously. There is reporting that the notes are from the same person, that the FBI believes.
I read yesterday that the first and second ransom note. Okay, this is why I always keep saying do your own research. The first and second ransom note came from 2 different IP addresses. But I'm gonna trust Brian Enton because we all know he's got connections everywhere and what he just said. But, like, people are saying it's 2 different people or it's 2 different IP addresses. Like, God, people, get your story straight.
The notes are from the same person. One of the TV stations that received the notes has reported that both notes did not come from the same IP address, but it appears the sender used the same type of secure server. And again, we're talking specifically about these first 2 notes that went to the local TV stations in Tucson. That is different from the note that went to TMZ. I want to play for you, though, and this is just heartbreaking, but Savannah Guthrie on the Today Show this morning reacting to all of this news that's come out over the last 24 hours. Listen to this.
I love you guys, and I love this place, and this is unusual and unprecedented, to say the least, to be sitting here. But, you know, I don't have any comment on this story, and I'm not involved in our coverage, but I can't pretend I'm not here. And so since I am, I wanted to just take the opportunity to ask people, to beg people to come forward. Somebody knows something. And this is a news story today that is on your radar, but this is the life that my sister lives, that I live, that my brother lives, that our extended families live, that our children live every day. And we are in agony. And we cannot be at peace. So no matter how much I try to come out here every day and smile and find that joy, and I will, I promise I will. This is a moment to tell you that we need your help. We're begging for your help. And I'm not gonna miss that opportunity. And so please, if you're watching, yes, no matter how small, the reward is there. You can tell us, it can be anonymous. Please do the right thing for us, for our family, for our children. And we love our mom, and we'll never stop looking for her, never.
So as you can imagine, I mean, this is just heartbreaking for the Guthrie family. And to think that this is what they've been holding on to too. The public didn't know about it, but this is what they've been holding on to for months now is just, as she said, I mean, it's unbearable to have to live with that and not knowing what happened to their mom, Nancy. One of the questions I've gotten is, why is all of this coming out now? And it's a good question. And some of this information we've known. There were some small elements that I knew about that I just hadn't reported because, you know, you always have to be careful about interfering with an investigation. A lot of this stuff is very sensitive to the investigation. And I know other reporters knew this too.
I'm trying to pay off your loan.
Stop calling.
I'm tired, y'all.
A report came out, there was the airmail story that I think was partially correct and had some information about the notes. Once it was out in the public, I think other people felt more comfortable, including myself, sort of digging in a little bit and reporting some of the information that we already knew because it was already sort of like out there. And hopefully, I mean, it does seem like this has revived some interest in the case. So maybe, you know, you heard Savannah Guthrie saying there that someone knows something, and hopefully someone will come forward with the information needed to solve this. But again, the question is, who is this person? How strange that they would tell Savannah Guthrie that Nancy died, say that felt the need to tell her that it was not intentional, that she was with nature now. What kind of person would abduct someone and then feel the need to do that if the notes are in fact true? I want to talk to retired FBI profiler Ray Carr about that. And again, I'm just fascinated by these profilers because they really come into play in situations like this when there's not a lot of other evidence, which we've got the DNA here, but let's not forget, we're still waiting on that. That hasn't really panned out yet. So the profilers are important right now, and I want to hear what Ray has to think about these newest developments. Ray, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. I was really interested in talking to you after we found out a little more about the second note. And I was calling it a ransom note, but technically it's not really a ransom note based on what we've heard because they didn't ask for a ransom. But they did confirm that Nancy was dead and said buried with nature now. What do you read into that?
I think based upon what I know of the note, and I haven't had the opportunity to see the complete note itself, just
Okay, I need to pause for fair use. All these people that Brian Enton has interviewed, like this profiler and other, I want to say FBI, but they're no longer working for FBI. I would love for them to read these notes. I mean, they could get like a better understanding. Like this profile, he could definitely get a better understanding of what's in these notes if he could read them. But I don't know. It'd just be nice to get an outsider's perspective if they could actually get their hands on them.
bits and pieces that are being shared. But I think that's one of the most revealing parts of the note. Most people, when they talk about a homicide or an accidental death, would usually use direct language such as buried in the woods, buried outside, buried in some remote nature. But the phrase buried in nature, it's kind of abstract to me, almost as though it's poetic. And I think it could raise several probabilities. Like someone is attempting to emotionally distance themselves from what's going on. So, in other words, a lot of times people try to distance themselves from violent acts by saying will kind of soften the blow. They passed away instead of killed.
It could have been distant.
They were laid to rest instead of buried. Things like that. Buried in nature removes that harsh reality of death and burial and decomposition. So it reframes the whole thing. When you look at it, it gives it something that's peaceful, and it's kind of organic. And I kind of question.
It is peaceful because if you say I'm buried in nature, that makes me feel a little warm and fuzzy. Like because when you think of nature, you think of like open fields of like wildflowers or like the woods, like a happy place for you. So yeah, I could see why they said that. Kind of sounds like whoever it is, they're trying to run from what they did.
Why is this person who's writing this? Is he trying to reduce his own guilt by romanticizing what happened? I think it's really weird.
Yeah, why would the abductor feel the need to tell the Guthries that she was dead?
And I think what he may be feeling some emotional pressure on top of himself, and he's trying to relieve himself of some of that. He could also be setting something up for potential staging or a false narrative. When
he could also be having some type of regret, empathy, and all this. I mean, it could be either way. Like what this guy said, and then like what I just said, it could be a whole slew of things. Because I kind of feel like this guy that wrote these letters, like I would love to read these letters. I kind of feel like he's upset that she passed. But my mind is not also trained like this guy's mind is trained. We don't know we don't know anything about this person. If we actually, had a little bit of background on this person, we can make a better decision. on which road we're gonna go, if he's, like, regretting or empathy or this, like this guy said, he's trying to distance himself. Like, he's how do I wanna say this? I feel like he's trained I don't wanna say to think bad about every single person, but he's trained to not go the route that we go, like, I would go. I don't know if that makes sense.
He says she's dead, but he says it's not intentional. So I think that's another telltale sign, Brian. I mean, that immediately raises suspicion to me because it sounds very defensive. Usually, when you have people that are being very truthful and they're disclosing things, they're telling you what happened, they're telling you the where, they're telling you the when, they're telling you who was involved. Deceptive communication usually minimizes what he's doing or she's doing. They're reducing the perceived intent of what everything is about. So why he would actually tell them, in my estimation, is he's trying to psychologically distance himself from this. And hey, look, it happened a long time ago. It happened almost immediately after we kidnapped her or took her, if you even called it kidnapping. So it's a great question.
Thoughts too. Thinking about this yesterday. If you didn't watch my video from yesterday, go watch it. But I forgot where I was going with this. Oh, like, why now did they just put out that, she passed away on February 11th? I think what they're trying to do, or like what Ellie is trying to do, is get her name back out in the media because they know news is gonna cover it, YouTubers are gonna cover it, TikTokers, Book of Face, all those people are going to cover it, and it's going to put more pressure on the kidnappers. Maybe they're hoping, like, this guy that wrote these 2 emails or whatever, maybe they're hoping, like, her name gets back out and he finally is like, "Look, this is what happened. I did it," or, you know, "So and so did it," or "This person did it." Like, maybe they're hoping it's gonna give him that push to come out and be like, "Yo, I know what happened."
To get it, you'd have to actually talk to the individual, and he might not even know why he's telling you.
Is this information that we're getting now about the second note, and like you said, there's probably more because we don't have the full note. Is this enough for profilers to go on within the FBI? Is this a big help?
When you look at this, and when I look at this, and I'm looking at it from an investigative or profiling lens, I'm going to focus on a couple different things with this note. And I'm going to compare it to previous notes to see if we're talking about the same individual. But I'm going to look at the language choice. I'm going to look at the psychological distancing that we just talked about. I'm going to look at what is his intent. What's the intent? I'm going to look at deception indicators that I'm finding in there and the type of strategy that he's trying to set out, what he's trying to communicate for us, and what he's trying to communicating to the family. So it's the key point that I'm seeing in all this is that he's trying to reduce his own guilt, or they're trying to reduce their own guilt, and this is what happened.
Yeah, I guess I'm wondering, is this someone who feels some guilt and is like a real feeling human, or is this someone trying to be deceptive and trying to make it seem like they care, but they really don't? I don't know. Is that a good question? Is that something you're thinking about?
That's good.
With base 44,
That's
a simple
literally what I'm talking
sentence
about right there.
becomes your
Kinda like
website.
mine's torn between the sides.
I had not thought about that. Some of the things when I understand that in this note, there was a phrase that said it's not intentional. And the wording of that suggests to me awareness of culpability. They know what they did. So the writer of this note appears to be concerned to me about an issue of intent. Hey, look, this was genuinely an accidental death. Maybe thinking that.
I kind of wonder if okay, so let's say this person is being sincere. Like, I kind of wonder if they didn't know about Nancy's heart problem or any of her medical problems. Let's just say it's somebody who not no, not close to the family. Like it would be like a me or a you kind of person just out here doing her thing. Like, did they not know about Nancy's heart conditions and stuff like that? Because, like, I mean, honestly, I'm surprised she lived as long as she did because she didn't have any of her medication. So I'm not. Maybe they just didn't know and it went south. That's what happened.
He also may be saying, hey, look, during the act, it was never intended to happen this way. Something went wrong and she died, or they could be just trying to gain sympathy by being deceptive and misdirecting investigators. Um, you know, when someone emphasizes the lack of intent, they're often trying to shape moral judgment. And the message that I think that this offender or offenders is trying to get out is that, hey, look, don't judge me too harshly on this. It really wasn't my fault. I never intended for this to happen. And I think that's highly revealing about the individuals that we're looking at. And I think that the individuals are looking at this note are going to kind of zero in on some of those things as well.
Is it unusual that an abductor would care enough to want to make sure the family knew that they didn't mean for it to end this way? Because if you're just, what part of me is like, you've got this evil abductor who takes this old lady and it's so evil and there's blood and this person is just an awful person. But then there's part of me that wonders, is this going to end up being someone like that doesn't have a criminal history, that's not a sociopath, that maybe actually felt guilty, like had this plan, knew that Nancy Guthrie lived in Tucson, this person might be from Tucson, thought this is an easy way for me to get money, I'm not going to hurt this old lady, and maybe actually does feel guilty? I mean, is that a possibility?
Yeah, it is. It's a real possibility. And we've thrown out, and it's been thrown out quite often, when you have guilt, if I'm a sociopath, a psychopath, there's very rarely any guilt. But if there's a personal connection here, which we've always thrown that out, that there could have been a personal connection between Nancy Guthrie and the individual, or the abductors. And now that's coming full circle with this individual. And he's saying, I got to make this right. I have to do something.
It could be. It could be. I mean, it could be like a me or a you kind of person that's not super, like not even close. Like I didn't even know Savannah's mom's name until all of this happened. Like it could be like us. It could be somebody super close to the family. Like I wish we'd find out who it was and what kind of connection they have.
And that's what this is all about here.
Yeah. I wasn't able to confirm this part of the note. There's others that have reported that it says that the person wrote that she perished shortly after she was taken. Again, I guess it would just go back to this person wanting the family to know, I guess, that she didn't suffer. Is that why you would put that in a note?
Yeah, I mean, you're giving them a little bit of information, and it could also be you're trying to maintain a little bit of controlling the narrative of what's happening. So it's that, but I think you hit on it earlier, Brian, about the guilt that this individual or individuals is feeling, and I think that's the driving force here. But I also think that they're also trying to control the narrative, and you got to ask. I mean, to me, I'm like, what the hell's the purpose of this note? I mean, why write it now? What's the big deal?
Yeah.
And to me, there's a need for control here. And communication allows offenders to control. It allows them to control the investigators, the investigation itself, the media, which is happening right now.
Yeah, he is
and
controlling
family
it.
emotions. So that gives them power, which they may have lost, but now it gives them power back again.
So that description makes me think more like sociopath a little bit. Or no, I mean,
there's a fine line here. Guilt, control. I feel guilty, but I still want to be in control here. I still want to still want to be able to control the narrative here. You know, there's other things that, we talked earlier about the psychological pressure. And, when you do something, and I know from a kid, when I did something bad,
What are you doing?
I had to tell somebody. And usually it was my mom and dad that I usually told, because it just weighs on you. So a lot of times some offenders feel compelled to communicate this stuff because the guilt increases, the stress increases with that. I mean,
Oh, sorry. So if the guilt is increasing, that means he has a conscience. I'm just saying, because a lot of people who they don't have conscience. I mean, they could have never even sent any of these. I mean, I'm sure. Well, not the type. I mean, definitely not the one that she has passed away. The second one. The first one, I could see yes because they want money.
secrecy becomes unbearable. Think about carrying that secret around, and people have a hard time functioning. And that's what the people that are trying to observe and look at the surroundings, those are the things that you want to look at. Those are the behaviors that if you see something, you want to be able to, you want to report those things to law enforcement.
So do you think with the details of this second note being public now, just back to what you just said, the person responsible would be acting differently right now, that suddenly their note is on the news and these details are on the news?
Pause. Okay, so I think they are going to start maybe because it's been how many months? They probably thought they got away with it. Okay. They started to. I mean, probably in the beginning, the very, very beginning from day one, they probably were acting different. Um, just changes here and there, little on edge, whatever kind of thing. And then as time progressed, they started to get more relaxed in the situation and pretty much get back to life before this happened. And I kind of want to take a guess and say that bef- when this information came out yesterday, or not yesterday, what is today? Wednesday, Monday, and they caught wind of it, they're probably right back to being on edge, being paranoid, thinking that they're gonna get caught. So hopefully this gives them a push to either say something, which they probably won't, or somebody is gonna notice, wow, so and so completely changed overnight. What is wrong with him? You know what I mean? Like it'll help somebody notice.
I'm back. I'm back in the news. I'm back in the news. I'm controlling the narrative again. See, the media ran with this, and all of a sudden the well dried up, and there was nothing really more to report because the FBI kind of closed the door on that. We didn't have the Pima County Sheriff, barking on the news media every couple hours. The FBI is not going to tell you anything, and with good reason. But yeah, I mean it's.
Milton loves rocks.
Sorry.
So
I don't pay for whatchamacallit.
Is it good for the investigation that, I mean, I know obviously the FBI doesn't want this stuff out there, but in a sense, could it be good? I mean, is this kind of shaking things up a little bit? Would this be shaking the person up a little bit, considering my sources have been saying that they really don't have many good leads still. There are no suspects. I think they've hit a lot of dead ends.
Every time something like this happens, it revigorates. I mean, go back to a thing, the BTK killer, Dennis Rader. He went dormant for 15, almost 20 years. Then he came back on, and it just reinvigorated the investigation all over again. Had people take a look, and eventually he was caught. But imagine that's a serial killer, and he was holding on to that guilt and all that pressure over that time built up. He felt compelled to be able to share that information because he'd been holding that in for a long time. And there's a true psychopath. Now, so I'm not sure who these individuals are, but some offenders, believe it or not, will insert themselves into investigations because they need to feel significant.
Some offenders need to insert themselves into an investigation to feel whatever he just said. Um, think back to all of the YouTubers that were standing out there. Yeah, I kind of wonder. I'm not going to say any names, but if you know who I'm talking about, you know.
They need to feel important. They need to feel important. They need to feel powerful. They need to be central to the story. All those things are really, really something with that, with these individuals. It's a very strange thing to do, but I think there's once this individual is caught, the answers will all become very fluent to us all.
Do you think there's any chance, like Savannah Guthrie being back on TV this morning talking about this, getting emotional, the details of the note coming out, could this prompt whoever did this to send another note, to communicate in some way? I mean, if they felt guilt, like you're saying,
I don't think they will.
could this sort of push them over the edge?
You know, when we talked about this thing early on, we one of two options here. One was either revenge or the other was ransom. I think in this situation here, what's being driven here is either guilt or control. And I think if they see an opportunity to insert themselves or to kind of direct this investigation, whether it's to relieve the guilt, and they did a couple things here by letting them know that your mother passed away shortly after we took her, so she didn't suffer. And you were spot on that, Brian. And you know, I think that that brings some solace, a little bit of closure to the family. But complete closure will not happen until they recover their mom and give her a proper burial.
God.
Is it unusual, though? I guess I'm still trying to understand, is it unusual with other violent people that you've covered, that you've investigated? I use the word covered. I'm thinking journalists here.
Yeah,
You've actually
no worries. No worries.
Yeah. Is it unusual that for them to feel guilt, for them to feel like they want the victim's family to know that the person passed, that they passed quickly, that they're with nature? Is that strange?
It is. Like I said earlier, it seems as though it's almost poetic. Like he read it in the book.
It could be like they wanted the Guthrie family to know that Nancy passed away. It could be another, I want to say dagger to their heart for some reason. More of it's been X amount of months. They're kind of starting to get back into their normal routine. Let's screw with them again, kind of thing. But this note came out like beginning. So this, how do I want to put this? The note came out February 11th, but we got the news just a couple days ago. So, I mean, technically, if you look at it, the kidnapper could be like, "Oh, well, this came out. This is going to um put another dagger in their heart, and they're going to feel the pain all over again," kind of thing.
Or he went to ChatGPT or something and was pulled that up. Most people don't talk like that. So most of the individuals that I've dealt with, the violent offenders, some of them initially are relieved because the hunt is over, the problem is over. You know, from a lot of these serial killers to serial bank robbers, all of them. But there's really I've never seen any of these individuals where there's really truly remorse for what they've done. They feel the guilt, but they never really mention the remorse. I'm sorry I did this. I'm guilty. I mean, I feel the guilt. I feel like, oh, there's a lot of pressure here because people are looking at me. People are thinking about me. But I've never seen, and I just had this conversation with a guy that robbed banks for 30 years. And he just says, you know, I didn't have any, I could tell wasn't remorseful. Yeah, I got caught. Kind of sorry I got caught. He didn't say that, but his actions and his body language told me that he was sorry he got caught.
Did he hurt anyone?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He did. In that situation, he physically abused people. He shot a bank manager. He shot a woman making a deposit. It was a race wound on the ear. So he was a violent individual. Yeah.
Yeah, because when you said bank robber, I was thinking, well, if you just stole the money, I could say you'd be like, oh, whatever, it's just money, these big banks. But if you actually hurt someone and didn't feel any remorse, that's different, you know?
Oh, that was his whole thing, Brian. He said, I always thought bank robbery was a victimless crime.
No, it's
I'm
not.
not taking their money. It's not, doesn't belong to them. But he had no idea of what he did to those individuals. And, it's the same thing with these individuals here. They're not, there's no way they're thinking about the effect they have on the secondary victims here, which is the family. They're not thinking of that until now. Now the thing is building up and the media is reminding them, hey, look what you've done.
You say they, do you think it's more than one? Is that what your gut says, or do you think it's one?
No, I think it's more than one.
You do?
I do. Yeah. I do think it's more than one.
And why is that?
Just because of the organization that took place for one individual. I'm not going to say it's multiple, like 3, 4, 5, but I'm saying there's more than one. For someone to do this on their own, I don't know if someone could have pulled this off on their own if they just did it themselves. So
If you're one of the thousands of women trying to eat an anti-inflammatory diet, you need to know about this.
When you had at the house and you looked at the house, you had, I think, entrance was made from the rear of the home, but you had someone in the front of the home at the same time. So, and a lot of people talked about, oh, that's how they escaped. And I don't think that was the escape route. I thought that was the point of entry.
I kind of want to know what's up with the blood on the front porch that Brian went up and recorded. Like, that's a whole nother story. But, what's up with that? Why haven't we heard any more about the blood stuff?
Because and one of the deputies out there said, and you were at the scene too, Brian, walking out during the day in that desert out behind the Guthrie house was very difficult to navigate. So imagine doing that at night.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to imagine it's one person in one sense, but then part of me thinks if it was more than one, someone may have squealed by now, or there may have been something that leaked out.
The more people you have in on something, the more likely somebody is gonna talk. Why, so I'm thinking two. I really want to say just one for some reason. I mean, pulled towards just one, but to have this all planned out, a getaway car, all that stuff, there's got to be a minimum of 2.
But then the point you made earlier, it's hard to keep all of that to yourself and not confide in anyone.
Yeah, the only reason, and remember, it's only been 5 months. Time is going to solve this case. Trust me on that. I feel very strongly about that. That's exactly what's going to happen. Somebody's going to open their mouth to somebody.
Either somebody's going to open their mouth to somebody, and that's how it's going to get solved, or somebody, let's say, okay, I'm just going to say, for an example, she's somewhere in the desert, in nature, okay? A hiker's going to find her. Because, we know, I hate to say this, I really do, but we know down there they've got wild animals, they need to eat. So, coyote or something, is going to start digging and somebody's going to find a bone. And that's going to start the process. It's either, yeah, like he said, somebody's going to open their mouth and say something, or a hiker or somebody's going to find her. That's one of the 2 options. And you heard it here first. Because if it ever happens, you can be like, oh, yeah, Mick said that, didn't she?
And then that's going to get out. Somebody's going to say, hey, we need to bring closure to this family. But I have a reason not to share anything right now, because if I share something, guess what happens? I'm going to jail. So if it's me and you, Brian, that have done this, or maybe you, I, and one other person, then, we're going to pinky swear, hey, we're not going to say anything to anybody, because if one goes down, we all go down. So there's a lot of incentive not to say anything at this point.
Can you
But that
imagine
wanes over
kidnappers
time as well.
swearing?
Yeah, it's true. When you hold a secret, you think it's such a secret, and then maybe a month later, you're like, oh, maybe I can tell one person. 2 months later, you're right. It sort of
Absolutely.
wanes. Yeah. What about, so in the first ransom note, we know that there was a
Sorry, my son, I can hear him sneezing in his room. He's got allergies really bad right now. My dog just, like, come out, and he's, like, looking, and I'm like, "Oh, is he up?"
ransom. I mean, they asked for a specific amount of money in exchange for Nancy. The second note, they didn't ask for anything. NBC is reporting, which, when NBC reports it, that's where Savannah Guthrie works. So I usually take that pretty. They say she's not
I'll be
involved
back.
in
I have to let the
reporting, but
dog
they're
out.
obviously not going to report something that's not true with her sitting right there. Does it say anything about the suspect that they didn't ask for more money the second time? I mean, again, my mind just goes, if it was a really awful person, why not still try to get money for the body?
First of all,
Right, I'm back.
I'm not sure
Let's hurry and get through this.
that
It's boring.
the notes, and not having seen the notes, I'm not sure that the notes are all from the same individuals. I don't know if the notes have all been authenticated of being from the same individuals, and the Bureau is very good at that.
That's the one thing too with the notes. Like he just said, he's not sure they're from the same person. Honestly, I don't think we'll ever know unless Nancy is found. Because it's an investigation. They've got to, they've got to keep some things close to the vest, but they can't release anything until the investigation is closed. So unless Nancy's found, we'll never know what's in these notes.
And going through those things from a linguistic perspective and from a behavioral perspective of the language that's in the notes. And it's very easy to determine if there's consistency in the notes being written by the same person. Unless you have me writing the first note and you writing the second note, you're going to see differences in that. So it's hard to answer that question because I'm not really sure of the authenticity of the notes. And you're asking for money, and I thought that there were people that were opportunistic here in this, Brian, when they were looking for some of the money, and you could have someone sitting in Dubai and saying, "Hey, look, I'm going to try and get some money. I'm going to ask for Bitcoin. That's not traceable." But the FBI never gives out money. They just don't do it. The family can give out the money if they want to, but the FBI doesn't give out money. The FBI will educate and make recommendations, but the final choice of whether money's paid is up to the family, not up to the FBI.
And we don't know what the FBI told the family, but it seems they maybe told the family not to pay the money because the family didn't pay the money. Even though now we're learning in the second note there wasn't a specific demand for money. But do you think the FBI is rethinking that decision at all? Because if they had advised Savannah Guthrie to pay the money, it seems it would be easier to trace, even though Bitcoin is untraceable in some ways. Once you retrieve the money, once the person retrieves the money, it seems like there's more of a window there to see who that person is. Do you think they made a mistake?
I'm not saying they can't make mistakes, but the FBI, I think, made the best decision based upon the information they had at the time. Now, later on, that information can evolve and change, and then the decision doesn't look as solid as it once did when you were in the moment. So I think at the time when the FBI made that call, they made that call based upon the best possible information they had at the time.
If your hair gets greasy 24 hours after washing, that is not normal. Your hair gets oily super fast. There
you go.
Do you think there's any chance, or are you still leaving the possibility open that these ransom notes are totally, bogus? Like actually have nothing to do with Nancy being gone?
That's possible. That's very, very possible. Without seeing the notes, and I'm sure the FBI knows which ones are plausible and which ones are not. And maybe that's why they're basing their information on what they tell the family to do. Hey, look, you can pay this, but I'm telling you right now, this is not the person that is holding your mother. This is a missing person.
I mean, yeah, because like about 250, 270 went into that Bitcoin. I think they were testing the waters with that one, seeing if anybody was gonna take it out. Ain't nobody taking it out. It's not been taken out. So
And they base that upon, years and years of experience of the agents working the cases and the people in the behavioral science unit. They do a really bang up job. Those guys and gals do.
I don't know why I'm so stuck, Ray. My mind keeps going back to when you said guilt, like the guilt that the person could be feeling, writing Nancy's dead, she's with nature now, trying to say it was, an accident or whatever, that it wasn't on purpose. Like I don't know. I guess in my mind, and I think people following this case so closely, you think of this person as such a villain, but then to think of them feeling guilt, I'm having a hard time, I guess, like managing that.
Or they knew Nancy.
Well, it's just an emotion. It's nothing more than an emotion. When you look at, and to me, based upon what I've researched and what I found out, is what stands out the most to me in the language, like phrases like buried in nature and her death was not intentional, suggests that someone's trying to psychologically distance themselves from violence while trying to shape how this investigation and the public are going to interpret Nancy's death. The wording is in basic wording. I don't have all the wording, but I think the wording is deliberate. I think it's emotionally controlled, and I think it focuses on minimizing culpability. From a behavioral standpoint, Brian, I think the note reveals more about the writer's psychological makeup, their guilt, and their need for control than it does about the actual circumstances of Nancy's disappearance. This is all about, if this is written by the offender, it's all about them. It has nothing to do with Nancy.
Does it tell us anything about whether or not the person may have been a career criminal? Like, would someone who's done a lot of bad, violent things really care to say, this is what happened, blah, blah, blah?
That's a potential. I mean, could they be a career criminal? I'm sure this is not their first rodeo. I'm sure they've been involved in potentially other crimes, maybe not of this nature. But I think the lack of sophistication by these offenders, although somewhat organized, there was a lot of disorganization as well. And
I don't know. I'm thinking about Nancy's house. I don't know if there was this disorganization there. I mean, I don't know. Like they could have came in through the back door, but there would have been still pictures because they said that Google they had gotten stills or whatever from Google, but it didn't show anybody. So they could be lying to us, or it could be there was actually nobody there and they propped the back door open, or they came in. I'm assuming they came in through that sliding glass door. That's if you're facing Nancy's house, it's to the left. There's like a brick wall, anybody could jump that. It's not that high. And I'm thinking that's how they came in because she's in her 80s. They live in freaking suburbia pretty much where nothing ever happens. And like older people, they're so used to not locking their doors. I'm 40 and I can remember when my mom and dad, they never locked their doors. They never locked their car. But we have to now. But like so the older generation is stuck in their ways. We all know the boomers are stuck in their ways, but she probably didn't have it locked thinking, "Oh, ain't nobody who can jump that wall. Anybody, I can jump that wall. Come on." But I think they came in through that way and then they propped open the back door for a hey, this is how we came in, or hey, this is how we went out to try to throw them off. But then you have the blood spatter on the front porch. So it's like, kind of thing.
So I'm not thinking I don't consider them to be pros.
Beyond the guilt, is it possible that this person is just putting this out there in black and white, almost to protect themselves? Like if they do get caught at some
They
point,
could be.
they said days after, it's not my fault, it wasn't the intention, that kind of thing.
When you say something like that, that takes away the genuineness of the apology itself. Not all apologies are genuine. Sometimes apologies are just simple, or simple ways or another way to manipulate emotions. It definitely, they were trying to psychologically distance themselves, both criminally and from the actual act itself. In other words, unintentional meaning unintentional. This was not done intentionally. I didn't do this. She just died. It wasn't as though I went after her and I physically assaulted her, although there were some of her blood was.
It kind of makes me think, like, because they said this wasn't intentional. So they didn't, they didn't mean for her to pass away. So now I'm kind of wondering, is it somebody who lives in Arizona? Because if you think about it, if it's bad people from Mexico, like everybody thinks it is, they wouldn't give two shits. They would hurt her. They would smack her. They would do whatever. They would physically harm her while they're waiting to scare the shit out of her. So now I'm wondering, is it somebody that lives in Arizona? I don't know. My brain thinks a weird way.
Obtained on the porch, droplets of her blood obtained on the porch, which, I mean, she was on blood thinners. She probably bled very easily. But I think that they're trying to say, hey, look, and it's all about, I want you to understand that I'm not really a bad person. So I'm trying to manipulate the emotions of the media, of the public. And that's what I think this is about. And as well as distance myself from this from a criminal standpoint.
By the time the second note arrived, roughly a little less than a week after Nancy went missing, there was already hundreds of reporters out there covering it. The story was all over the world. It was the lead story everywhere. Could the abductor have been responding to the media coverage in the sense like, hey, everybody, like, you're not going to find Nancy. Everybody go home. I mean, could that have been a motivation for writing that second letter?
Absolutely. Absolutely could have been a motivation. Again, it's a means to control exactly what's happening, whether it was to control the investigation itself to the investigators, the media themselves, or to the public. I mean, you're trying to control the narrative. You're trying to write the story, but the story's already been written and the ending is already known, but you're letting that out, because what you're doing is, again, when you set that out and you tell them that she's gone and that she's passed and she's buried in nature, what you're doing is you're separating yourself. You're distancing yourself from the victim, which kind of is almost like the further you can get away from the victim, the safer it becomes.
That's true.
But it never
true.
dismisses the guilt that you have with that and the stress that comes with it. Because, and Jim, and
you got to think too, if let's say Nancy is buried in Mexico, that group that's out there looking, if they find her now, we'll know if they find her, but then the kidnappers can be like, oh my god, did I leave DNA on her? Did a piece of hair of mine fall onto her? Just anything. So they're gonna sit there and they're gonna worry for the rest of their life. And I hope that eats them up, or at least eats one of them up that actually has a conscience and they come forward.
a friend of mine, Jim Fitzgerald, and I talked about this, and we said that, hey, look, you're always going to be looking over your shoulder.
Yep.
Until
Yes, they will
this
be.
comes to a conclusion. We never go away. There is no statute of limitations on a homicide. There is none. So it
And I love that.
never goes away. So we're always going to be looking for you, and eventually we're going to find you. And I feel very confident in that.
Really, really appreciate Ray for taking the time to talk with me. And let's just hope that, you know, there's a break soon and that this new attention on the case maybe will spark something. So we'll see.
Yeah.
If anybody has any
It does.
information, the number, of course, is 1-800-CALL-FBI. I got a couple of more stories I'm working on this week involving Nancy Guthrie that I'll have for you here on the podcast and on News Nation. And I just appreciate you guys for watching. Appreciate you guys for following.
Okay. So that's it. So, all right, guys. I'm tired now. Going from the Alex stuff to that stuff made me super tired. But I still have to go do adult stuff. Like I always say, if anything new pops up, I will immediately go live. So make sure you're following and all that good stuff. All right. I hope you guys have a good